Put your hands together for Jesus. I said today is our Thanksgiving Sunday. And the psalmist said in Psalm 103, he said, bless the Lord, O my soul. You know, I want you to read this verse. Look at it. Media, you are too slow for me. He says, somebody say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord.
You know, most of the Psalms, when you read them, they are talking about somebody. But here, the psalmist is addressing himself. He's addressing who? And what is he saying? Bless the Lord who? Oh, my soul. Oh, who? How many of you sometimes you don't feel like praising God? So, you don't feel like praising God sometimes, isn't it? So, that's why this psalm is there. He said, so I want you to address yourself. Say, bless the Lord. In fact, there's a song like that. There's a song like that. Okay, let's try it. So that we sing it.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name.
I will bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name.
Sit down. We are reading a verse. He said, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is what? Within me. Somebody say, all. That is where? Within me. It means that anytime you are blessing God, don't hold back. Don't what? Don't do what? Hold back. Many of us, we hold back. We hold back as if we are baptized in starch. It's as if when you come to church, they said, no, you can't move left or right. You must be in one position. But the psalmist said, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless what? His holy name. Say, I will bless the Lord. Lift your hand and say, I will bless the Lord. Say, I will bless the Lord.
I'll bless the Lord.
And he says in verse 2, he said, bless the Lord, oh my soul. Because your soul might forget. It says, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and forget not. And what? Forget not all. Somebody say all. Not all. All. His what? Benefits. Somebody say all his benefits. So they are a type of people who their soul is not blessing the Lord. Their soul is not what? Yes. You must be worried when you have a soul that is not blessing the Lord. You must be what? Worried. When you have a soul that is not blessing God is a soul that is ungrateful, unthankful. Are you there? That you have a soul like you are there, and when you look around, you can't see anything that God has done. So the psalmist said, oh my soul, bless the Lord. And he says, one of the dangers of a soul that is not blessing God is that it forgets that God has been with you. You forget you are actually in December. You can check. Can you see? Check your time, check everything. You are actually in December. Can't you see that you are in December? I say, can't you see that you are in December? Oh, you are not grateful for being in December. Put your hands together for Jesus. You could have died in January. How many of you went to a funeral this year? You went to a funeral? Yes. But you are still alive. Oh my soul, and all soul, and all that is within forget that you didn't go to a hospital this year. You can forget that you didn't go where. So that's why the psalmist says, and forget not all. Somebody say all. All what? His benefits. Oh, so I want to remind all of us this afternoon that there are two types. Those who do not say thank you. Those who do not say what? Thank you. They forget the things. So the first type is that those who forget. The people who don't say thank you are those who what? Forget all the benefits. All what? The benefits. You know, there's one guy in Genesis. Let me show you the person. You want to see the person? The person who forgot all the benefits. Thank you, praise and worship team. Or you want to preach with me? It's also good if you want to preach with me. I don't mind at all. Say, I don't mind at all. Genesis. Somebody say Genesis. Chapter 40. Genesis chapter 40. May you not be like this guy. It says, it came to pass after these things that the buckler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord, the king of Egypt. They did what? Offended their lord, the king of... You know, there are some people who shouldn't offend them. You shouldn't what? Offend them. Verse 2. Please go. And he put them. Verse 2. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers and against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. Two people. Those who were baking bread. And what is a butler? What is it? A servant. Like a servant around. And then the kitchen person. Two people. And verse 3. And he put them in a ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. So they went to prison and they found a veteran prison. And who was his name? Who was the veteran prisoner? And the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them. So when they arrived, they said, Joseph, these people, take care of them. And he served them, and they continued a season inward. A season where? Where? In the prison. Isn't it? And they dreamed a dream, both of them. They did what? A dream. Each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the buckler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. They were what? They were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, wherefore look you sadly today? Why are you so sad today? And they said unto him, we have dreamed a dream. Do you know you can dream a dream and you are sad? Hey. Like this morning, I woke up, I had a dream. I don't know, I had mixed feelings. What a shock. In fact, it's one of those days that when I dreamed that dream, I didn't ignore it. I woke up and I wrote it down. Yes. So it says, we have dreamed a dream and there is no interpreter of it. That's why they are sad. That's why they are what? They are sad. And Joseph said unto them, do not interpretations belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. He said, interpretations belong to who? Somebody say, interpretations belong to God. Say, interpretations belong to God. And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph and said to him, in my dream, behold, a vine was before me. This was a dream. And in the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand. And I took the grapes and pressed them into the Pharaoh's cup. And I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are the 3 days. Someone said the 3 branches are the 3 days. Please continue. Oh. And yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head and restore thee unto the place. And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand. And after the former manner, when thou was his buckler. He says, you are about to be set free in 3 days. You are about to be what? Yes, you are going to be restored. But think on me. But what? So he added a clause. He said, when you are restored, think on me when it shall be well with you. You see, sometimes when God is doing good things, the tendency is to forget the good thing that was done for you. So he said to him, think of me when it is well with thee, and show kindness, I pray you, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh. And make mention of who? Unto Pharaoh. And bring me out of this house. Verse 15, 16, is it there? For indeed, I was stolen away unto the land of the Hebrews. And here also I have done nothing that they should put me into this dungeon. Remember, Joseph was in prison for something he didn't do. In fact, he was in prison because he refused to sleep with the boss's wife. The boss said, Charlie, your boss is not here. Come and taste what he's been tasting. And Joseph said, he ran away. He ran the jacket, and then they used the jacket against him. Are you there? When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph also, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. And in the uppermost basket, there was of all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh. And the birds did eat out of the basket upon my head. Not Pharaoh taking the cup. Yeah? He said the birds came to do what? Instead of Pharaoh eating, it was who? The birds. Please, 18. And Joseph answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Are what? Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee. It shall hang on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. You are about to die. And it came to pass that the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, which was Pharaoh what? That he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto the butlership again, and he gave the cup unto Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had what? Interpreted to them. Continue. Yet, somebody say yet. I can hear you. Say yet. The chief butler, yet did not the chief butler what? Remember Joseph, but he what? Forget. He forgot the benefit that as I'm standing here, it was because of Joseph's prophecy. He forgot. That's why the psalmist said, all his, and then, may I not forget. So there are people, those who don't say thank you, are those who forget the benefit of God. Many of us, you see, for you to be grateful, I have to search, Pastor Shadrach, I have to begin to tell you some things that I remember about you. Eh? And when you finish, say, hey, Bishop, I must really be grateful. You can easily forget. You can easily what? Forget. So I want you, this is the only thing I'm telling you today, and I'm finishing. That Search your memory. Search what? Search what? Recall, yes. Recall. Someone say recall. Recall. The good things, the bad things, everything that God has done for you. You see, you will never be grateful until you exercise your memory. You know, one of the things that worry me, do you want to know what worries me? Is my memory that seem to forget. Like if, let's say I get worried that maybe sometimes I forgot the things that happened. Generally, like this is general. Like maybe my wife tells me, do you remember? You see, she was telling me that we had a trip one day. So I was showing, yesterday I was driving my car and I saw a certain buggy, white Nissan hard body, V6, 3.0 V6. When you drive it, it goes and then 1 liter of petrol finishes. Yes. And I remember I used to have that car. You know? When I used to have that car, I drove that car from Nelspruit to Namibia. To where? Pulling a trailer. Taking one of our pastors there as a missionary. Now, when we came back, and I remember it was an adventure because we drove through Botswana. Because of the petrol, we couldn't find a filling station in the desert. We had to go left far to go and look for the nearest filling station. But when we were coming back, my wife said, do you remember that you gave a lift to a certain woman? I said, I don't remember the woman. You know, like when we were coming back, when we were going, the trip was fun. But she says she only remembers when we were coming back that at the border, when we were in the Namibian border into Botswana, one woman said, I'm going to South Africa. She was with a little baby. And she asked me, I said to my occupants, we were 3. So it was me and my assistant driver. My wife was at the back lying down. Do you understand? Then, because I took a passenger, she couldn't lie down again. She said to me, I remember how uncomfortable I became. And then, because of the person we took, she was coming with the baby. We couldn't eat freely anymore. Everything we are supposed to eat, the child will be looking at you. And then the child, so it's like without saying, we have to just share. Anything we buy on the road, we must share. And then west of it all, when we're approaching Rustenburg, that woman said, you can't leave me here. Like, we are passing straight. She said, how can you bring me all the way from Namibia to come and leave me here at this time? Oh, I said, this woman, she's not grateful. I said, look, you don't know where we are going, okay? Call the people that you are supposed to call to come and take you. Because we were passing. And we're not coming to Pretoria. I was living in Polokwane at that time. Yes. So, and then when she got off, she said, thank you, I don't have anything to give you. Not that we needed anything. 2 countries for free. So my wife said, that's what I remember. I said, I don't remember. I had forgotten that trip had that twist. Do you understand? It's when she said it that I said, oh yeah, I remember that woman. But I had forgotten. You know, one day, these are sometimes there are good things that you must forget. I mean, bad things you must forget, but don't forget the good things. One day I saw a certain girl. She said to me, Peter, how are you? She said what? Peter, how are you? So I was catching a taxi some years back. I think I was in my first year. Yes. I said, fine. I was not a pastor, but I was born again. I was a Christian. So I said, fine. So she looked at me. and said, Peter, you forgot me. I looked at her. I said, look, I can't remember at all. And quickly, my memory came back in a flash. And I said, why did I come to this taxi? I felt like disappearing. This girl, I had some short stint with the girl, But I had forgotten. Then I remember the verse. If any man is in Christ, all things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Hey, look, I totally forgot that I've ever even said hi to her. Yes. I forgot totally. But then I said, what worries me is the good things that God does that we also seem to forget. So the Bible says that the chief butler forgot Joseph. So these are the people who never say thank you. Remember, he told him, when you arrive before Pharaoh, remember me, mention my name, mention the good things, mention how I'm here, held captive against my will. I did nothing wrong. But the butler did what? Forgot. Are there things that right now, as I'm talking to you, they don't even come to your mind? How God saved your life. I remember one day I was in Polokwane during the Healing Jesus campaign. I was happy that the campaign was coming to Polokwane. Do you remember during the Healing Jesus? It was the first street crusade in South Africa. It was Tsanin, Mokopane. The last one was going to be what? Polokwane. That 3 crusades. 2014, I think. Was it 2014 or 2012? So, the crusade director gave me the car. We were having a match that day. We were doing a Jesus match. So he gave me the car and said, go and pick up Vivaldi. You know Vivaldi? The one who sings songs. So I drove the car. And I was going to meet them before. So they were going to Mokopane. So I was supposed to pick the singer and bring her. I didn't make that journey. The journey did not finish. Before I realized, the car I was driving was turning 5 times in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey! On the highway. And I was inside. You see, it went 1, 2. And then when it was rolling from my lane. It was four lanes. From my lane like this, going into the oncoming traffic. And then after it rolled, it came and stood again on the 4 wheels. And then that guy, I always remember him. He's called Manager. He's one of the guys with that sound for Healing Jesus. James. He ran from the truck. He ran. They were joining the highway. He ran from the truck. Came to stop the car. Because the car, when he stood on the 4 wheels, it started driving towards the oncoming traffic. And I had, my seatbelt on. So he came to pull the handbrake and stop the car. Because I was confused. I didn't know where I was. And then he opened the door. Now, when I came, I just walked out of the car as if nothing happened. So I remember I saw some guy came driving a Porsche. He stopped. And he said, who was driving this car? Because I was standing by the car. I said, it's me. He looked at me. Are you serious? I said, yes, it's me. Everybody could not believe. The reason why I went to the hospital is just to go and check whether I might have a fracture that. So the only thing that happened, the car had airbags on the seat. It hit my what is this? Yes, just this. Which part is this? What is it? Tricep. Okay. Not bicep. Tri. Okay. Now, that was the only bruise I had. And I came out of the car. I came out of what? Yes. So you see me walking like this. I am a walking miracle. I am a walking what? Miracle. I could have died on that day. I know people who had similar accidents and died. Yes. So I remember the goodness of the Lord. I remember one day, this time I was not born again. I was in a shop playing snooker. You know snooker? Eh? Yes. I'm very good, so try me one day. Now, you know, I was going like this. And when I saw some guys entering the shop where we are with guns. The only thing I remember is running away. You can't run. They used the back of the gun, hit my head. I still have the scar even today. Lie down. Tell all of you, went to lock us somewhere. Took the money. We're in a shop, like, in a filling station. Like it was a shop where they sell in a filling station. Took all the money they came on Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Took everything. They went, but by the grace of God. And I knew they were armed. Sometimes the gun is not real. But I knew they were armed because the first person they caught was our security guard, who had a loaded gun. So when I saw that they also held him hostage and they took his gun, I said, this one, you don't need to resist. Yes. People who steal, they are crazy. They can easily shoot you. But they just left us. The only thing they did was to lock us in the house and hit. They didn't use the bullet. They used the back of the gun. So I am a living testimony. I'm sure I'm sharing my testimony so that you can remember yours. So that when we come before the Lord, I don't have to stir you up. You must say with the psalmist, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. And he lists the benefits. He says that he healeth all. Please go to the next verse. Oh, these guys are very, very late. He says that he heals all your diseases. He forgiveth all your iniquities. He crowns your life. Verse 4. He redeemeth your life from destruction. And who crowneth thee with loving kindness and what? Tender mercies. I don't know whether you are grateful for this. If you are not, then I don't know what to say again. Somebody say, bless the Lord. So for the things that God has done for you, may you not be like the chief buckler who forget the benefit that I'm alive today because of a prophecy. Some of us are alive because, God's servant has prophesied over your life that you will live and not die. Do you know that when you come to church, never take for granted the things that the pastor says to you? No, never take them for granted. Because in the spiritual realm, he's casting out demons that wants to kill you. He can easily, that's why people who pray and those who don't pray are different. Yes. Somebody say, bless the Lord. Oh, my soul. Say, bless the Lord. Oh, my soul. This one is not bless the Lord your soul. No, you are speaking to yourself. So try it for the last time. Number 1. Let's be on our feet and say it. Again. For the last time. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not. Somebody say, and forget not. Say, and forget not all his what? Benefits. All his what? Benefits. All his what? Benefits. All his what? Benefits. All his what? Say, I'm a beneficiary. Say, I'm a beneficiary of the grace of God. I can hear you say, I'm a beneficiary of the grace of God. Say, I'm a beneficiary of the grace of God. You know, I am sharing with you these verses so that you can be grateful. So that you can be what? So that you can be what? We saw a verse, I think Jeremiah 13:16. This week. He says, when you are not grateful, look at it, Jeremiah 13:16. Wow. He said what? Give glory to the Lord your God. Say, give glory. To who? What will happen if you don't give glory? Before he caused darkness, and before your feet what? Stumble upon the dark mountains. And while he looked for light, he turned it into what? Shadow of death. And make it what? Gross darkness. People who are ungrateful, they fall into dark things until they are dead. Yes, that's what it is. When you are ungrateful, when you are what? Ungrateful, darkness comes. May we not have a heart of ingratitude. I say, may we not have what? A heart. Lift your hands and ask God that, Lord, may I be grateful for all the benefits. Open your mouth. Yourself, open your mouth and just ask Him. Lord, help me. I can't hear you. Thank you, Lord, for all the benefits. You have done so much for me. I cannot tell it all.